So Bernie Sanders taking money, selling out, bastard. Actually, here's the thing: I never opposed money in politics in the first place. That's not why I like Bernie Sanders. I like Bernie Sanders because of his social policies. The whole money thing is, I have an opinion on it and everything, but it's not. I don't really think it's the dominant concern. It's not. It's not the idea that gets me worked up about things. I don't have this opinion that money is at the root of the problem. I well, this is what we're going to talk about. Okay, money changing hands doesn't bother me. What bothers me is not knowing who's giving money to who. Okay. Canada has much stricter laws. I've posted here about some of the ways that you can get around those laws. I don't think writing laws is the answer in either country, because the more laws you write, the more people can get around them. If you could write a law that has every clause in the history of the world, well, it's not even possible in the abstract. Okay. Okay, for every law, there exists a way to get around it. For every law, there exists a loophole. This is how it is, right? And that loophole may be as easy as buying off the people that are supposed to be prosecuting you. You can have the strictest laws in the world, if you buy off the prosecutor. What I'd like to see is transparency and a culture that upholds it. So if a candidate wants to take money from Wall Street, the oil industry, the weapons industry, then that's okay. And really it is, so long as they tell me so I can look it up. I would be highly unlikely to vote for such a candidate, I must say, on the basis of them having a conflict of interest, in a way that I really don't like. And that's what we need here, is a culture that rejects conflicts of interest as unacceptable, not more laws that can be to be dodged while an apathetic voting base shrugs it off. Jefferson articulated this position by calling for an educated populace. The cornerstone of democracy rests on the foundation of an educated electorate. There's old Thomas Jefferson there. And that's the problem, okay? In the abstract, you can have as much money as you want floating around. If people are educated, then they'll ignore it. Or they'll vote against it. This idea that you need this bureaucratic police force that's going to determine where money goes and where it doesn't, even if it could work, what you're doing is you're reducing the electorate to idiots. So in order to save democracy, you must destroy it. If that works, then that's not democracy anymore. It's a nanny state. It's a police state. Democracy means you've got to be able to say, okay, those guys are assholes and we're not going to vote for them. It doesn't mean that there's some system that prevents assholes from running. So when Sanders says he wants to take the money, it doesn't bother me a priori. But I would push him to ban anonymous contributions. What I want to see is him lead the way in transparently publishing the source of every dime that comes in. I want to see who gives him money, how much, and where possible, why. I mean, if you're going to give him $27, maybe you don't need to write an essay. But if you're going to give him more than that, you should say, if you're going to give me the maximum amount, say why. I don't think that's asking a lot. And in fact, I think that it would do a lot for the system if he insisted upon it. Donations over $100 should come with an essay that will be published online. That way the media and the public can see for themselves where the money's coming from and decide whether a conflict of interest exists and whether the reason that they're publishing is bullshit or not. Right? If I see this money coming in from Exxon and they say that they're concerned about climate change, I'm going to be a little skeptical. It would be in the organization's interest then to be careful about who it accepts money from, because it's transparent. And that's a part of building trust and good governance. So if there's money, there's not money, I don't think this is the point. I don't think this is the issue. I think the issue is that we need to be more proactive. We need to be more educated. We need to be more interested. Like I say, the strongest, most loophole-proof system in the world is not going to give us anything besides what the police state gives us. You can't build democracy through bureaucracy. People have to demand it and fight for it from the bottom up. And so long as we don't have that movement, you're not going to have democracy. I'd rather see you put all of this effort and focus not on taking money out of politics, but putting money into the education system. And I'm consistent on this point. I've been arguing this for years. We don't need less money in politics. We need more money in education.